Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Bama Standard. It's Tuesday night, and if you're looking for a show that's politically correct or that's going to sugarcoat things, you're in the wrong area. I'm your host, Justin Riley, and tonight we are brought to you as always by Oakmont Financial Partners and Workspace Solutions. And joining me tonight was one of the most feared linebackers to ever play for the University of Alabama, but he's got a teddy bear by his side, Marvin Constant, comedy legend Steve Brown, and one of
What's
the
happening?
baddest men to ever tote the rock, 1992 national champion and Super Bowl winner, Derrick Lassic. What's going on, fellas?
What's
Hey,
up, man?
hey.
I think Derrick can still tote that rock, though. I believe he can. I think he's good for a couple of down, a couple of yards. I think he can do it.
I'm just good in the mirror. Now I look good for the mirror.
So you're the guy who we want to get off the bus first, in other words.
Yeah, I'll be like Tony Brown. I'll walk around the other team's warm up with my shirt off.
Right. Is Tony Brown still in the league?
Yeah, he's playing for the Colts, starting for
Cool.
the Colts. Yeah.
Cool. That's what's up. I
Now,
like
Steve Brown, we have a segment for you, but before I get to that, I see something in my screen from Marvin Constant. He's got a teddy bear. I know he's got a point behind it, so I'm going to go ahead and let him clear that up for us. Marvin, what you got?
Man, I can't see y'all.
This is my emotional support pit from my anxiety from watching Alabama football. Apparently, they gave one out to everybody who plays or is a big fan. We all have emotional support pits now for our anxiety. So I just wanted to bring my anxiety pit on camera.
Oh, I could have sworn you get those free with a $20 purchase of gas at Citgo.
Well, apparently, Alabama football players need to go to Citgo and fill up regularly because something still ain't quite right.
Hey, man, let me tell you something, Marv. I mean, coming from Will Anderson, coming from any Alabama football player, the standard is so high for me. How dare you say we're coming out of a locker room with anxiety? And the thing is, man, I'm gonna tell you something. No, I wasn't the greatest football player. I played a little bit, but I know the game. And I'm gonna tell you something. The best part to me in a football game is when I see my team coming out of the locker room ready to go. And the thing is, it's a chant Alabama says before they coming through the tunnel. And he said they wasn't saying that. And I was like, yeah, Nick Saban called it because it's something they say, y'all boys ain't ready. And then they say something or whatever, and then they'll say shit or something. They'll say something.
Get ready to roll. That whole see.
Yeah,
Yeah. So now they hitting their heads, hitting lockers, holding up the fours and doing all this. None of that. So I'm like, come on, man. What's this going on? So it lets me know, Marvin, and there it lets me know, just being around football. If they came out of the locker room with anxiety, that means that their coaches didn't prepare them well for that game. They didn't have any confidence. So that goes back to coaching. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you know the game, what up, Bo?
What up, Bo?
And you can jump in right quick, Bo. You know this too, Bo. All of y'all, but he gone already. All of y'all were great football players, and you guys played and you were involved. If you got the game plan down to a T, you know what you're gonna do, how you're gonna execute it. You are automatically ready to play fast. That means your confidence level is through the roof. So that means that's telling me that these boys, if they came out with anxiety, they weren't prepared.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. I used to come out the tunnel with my eyes this big, foaming at the mouth.
Exactly, because you can also because you're on cocaine. That too. Go ahead.
Derrick, I want to hear your take on it. It's been some time since we've heard from you, and you're a guy who always lays it straight on the line. If anxiety would have been mentioned in your locker room in that day, what would have happened? I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I don't know what would have happened, to be honest with you, because anxiety was so far from our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? If the team has anxiety issues during a game, it's because the coaches behinds were tight during a week. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time if we played with any anxiety is because the coaches behinds were so tight that week that it caused us to be tight, and we didn't go out there and play like we normally played.
Regardless of what coaches was, I went out there on a death mission every Saturday. Hey, listen, we had to do one job. Let's go.
Marvin, you went out there to play football. You ain't have a role. You just went out. You ain't know no packages and that. You just went out there and played.
He played with a different purpose. You know, you were playing to get to the next level. These kids got 1.5, 2 million in the bank. So they play with a different kind of, you know,
Instagram account.
Yeah, you know, we didn't have that. We played with that hunger.
Exactly.
Coming more like professional football with the NIL. You know, the kids are making money. They don't want to hurt their brand. You know,
and you know what, Derrick? You know what? You know something else too? This is why I used to love college football so much more than the pros, because kids were playing, you guys were playing to get somewhere. You whatever play y'all whatever y'all did, y'all were going 100%. Why? Because your focus was to get to the league. Now with this NIL, now these players are like, you know what? I ain't gonna get hurt. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been watching this guy. I watch all of our players closely. Is it me? Or is it, and somebody help me, is it me or our tight end? He plays sometimes like he don't have purpose. He's not even trying if he's not getting the ball. I've seen several plays whereas they'll do a wide receiver screen or whatever to him, to his side, he'll miss the block. And he'll like, oh, well, you know, it's like he don't care. Like it's just like I'm playing not to get hurt. But
I'll say this. A lot of them look like that throughout the season. We played a downtrodden, overrated Mississippi State team. So I hope that win does not instill a lot of confidence in them. Clearly, that Mississippi State team was terrible. I don't know who they beat this year to get ranked, but clearly that team is terrible. And again, I always say this. College football players play to the personality of their coach. Mm-hmm. And I've always said Pete's not the guy for the job. I've been saying it for 3.5 years. I'm going to propose something radical today. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Marv, hold up, Marv. Before you do that, let me get my segment out the way.
Yeah, we got to do that. It's time. If you're not familiar with this segment, it is groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking. It's life-changing. It's Steve Brown's No Laughing Matter. Steve Brown, you've been away from us for a while. It's time to let you speak. The floor is yours.
Hey, man, first off, thank you for having me, giving me this segment. First, I want to say my segment is better than Marvin's, and I appreciate that.
Well, we didn't have a choice but to give you a segment. It was a part of your parole. Your PO said we have no choice.
And I the only thing about that segment is I don't like that shirt, and I don't think Derrick likes it either. It says "Hold." Yeah, take that off, you know. So, yeah. So anyway, my segment is about what's the identity of our offense. Okay. We still at this point in the season still look like we're confused out there. I think that I watched the Mississippi State game, and it seems like we are, to be Bama, we are very vanilla. It seems like everybody knows what we're going to do. And to me, it's like looking at this game, I watched it twice. I think we had one play that really mattered that was an actual play that worked. And it was when they gave the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs off right tackle, and he went in for a touchdown in the second quarter. The rest of the plays are passing plays. And y'all can correct me. Every passing play, mostly that we ran, it turned into backyard football. Mm-hmm. Every time we passed the ball, it turned into Bryce Young scrambling and he finding an open receiver, breaking off his route or doing something else. Nothing they called worked, and it looks to me that every play that Bill O'Brien calls, it's a call where every wide receiver we got is releasing, going deep downfield. Nobody underneath, nobody attacking the middle. It's just everybody bailing out, going downfield. Like every play is like a seam route. Everybody running the seams, and that's it. you know, and then so now when Bryce Young scrambles, then they come back to the ball and try to get open. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't look like Alabama football. Okay, we start running the ball. Then when the running game is working, what do? We abandon it every time. Tennessee, we abandoned the run game when we could have sealed the game with the run game. But you're calling, and now I'm thinking about, and I said this before. Now I'm looking at why the backup quarterback had so many problems, and people were like, why they were saying the same thing about Bryce Young. Why is he holding the ball so long? Why is he holding the ball so long? It's not because the receivers are covered, because clearly Mississippi State has some terrible DBs.
They got a terrible team.
They're just sending everybody down the field, nothing open. And then when you finally release a running back, you release the running back right in front of a waiting middle linebacker licking his chops. Do you know how many times during the Mississippi State game, Jahmyr Gibbs got his head damn near torn off across the middle because he was the only one to release across the middle in the face of a linebacker? So to me, it's either our play caller don't care, or he just don't know what he's doing, or he just, I don't know. But it's no type of scheme. It's nothing. It's just purely backyard football at this point. Bryce Young running around in the pocket, trying to find somebody to catch open, and then he'll hit him. That's it. Nothing strategic, nothing attacking about it. I mean, it's not keeping the defenses guessing. It's just 4 wideouts running down the field. Bryce Young scramble and he catch somebody. That's it. That's what I've been seeing so far with Alabama football, and that needs to be fixed. If y'all don't see it, I do. So that is my No Laughing Matter segment, and I wish that people would pick up on it, and I wish Coach Saban would step up and just run the offense his damn self, or call me. Well, call Derrick. Derrick knows offense. As a matter of fact, you know, everybody got happy. Everybody got happy at spring when at homecoming, because, you know, I don't know what y'all was thinking, but when Gene Starling showed up, I thought Coach Saban hired him to run the offense. I'm just saying.
I think they brought Bill Oliver over there on the defensive side of the ball to tighten things up when they were running all over us the first couple of series. Because things did get tightened up.
It's crazy, man. But y'all didn't notice that, man. Like,
I pick it up
every passing play. He's scrambling. Now
that's every game.
He's got to find the open receiver during the scramble.
Yeah.
Man, that is every game.
Separation either. He's throwing the ball, and all the passes are contested. They get no separation. You have to establish a running game. You know, it's a linebacker can drop, you know, and help out in coverage. Therefore, it's less space for the receivers to get open in, spaces for them to find. But when they have to respect the run, you know, they come up and the receivers can get behind them and find open spaces. So we need to establish a run. You know, I know Bryce is, you know, a great quarterback, but we need to help Bryce out.
But Derrick, I'm going to ask you a question. You and Bo both know this. I always talk about it. As a defensive player, it's my job to know how to stop an offense. So I know the things that offenses do that give defenses problems. We don't run enough screens. We don't run enough delayed draws. We don't run enough of the plays to open the middle of the field up. Because, again, once you start running those screens and those delayed draws, you got those guys thinking twice about it. Now they're flying out the box, and you've opened the middle of the field up. But we don't do any of that. And then by running those screens and those delayed draws, you making those corners and those safeties think twice about it. So now you've opened up the deep ball. These are the things that give defenses problems. We don't do that regularly.
Hey, but Marv, but you know what, Marv? And I'm gonna ask you, and I'm sure Derrick and Bo would know too. I'm just asking. If I was a defensive coordinator playing Bama, I'd run a cover 3 all day. Just drop 3 men all the way back on deep thirds, because that's where they're trying to go. It's nothing else they're doing to make me change my defense. Nothing. So why wouldn't you run a cover 3?
They don't have a vertical threat up the middle either. They don't have a tight end to stretch the field.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So many things that they're not doing to stretch defenses to where they can get that advantage on the offensive side of the ball. Because again, you start running those screens, you fake the screen, and you got that tight end acting like he's gonna block and delay, run him up the seam. 9 times out of 10, he's wide open. Teams do it all the time with NFL with Travis Kelce.
That's if he
when
feel like
Gronkowski was playing. It's how they open the middle of the field up, but we don't open it up.
That's if the tight end feel like running that route.
What are you saying?
Well, get another one. You got plenty of them.
If I was a defensive coordinator playing against Alabama, I would run a 3-3-5. I would depend on my front six to stop the run, and play 5 deep back.
See, because that's what they're doing too. They're doing it.
You can run an odd front, or you can run a stack where each linebacker behind a down lineman. Because it seemed to me like we can't run the ball. We throwing the ball probably 87% of the time of the game. That's what it seemed like to me. And at the beginning, when have you ever heard at the beginning of the second quarter of Alabama, we got 1 rushing yard?
Yep.
And for the entire game, we
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
go ahead,
I think a lot of the reason why our running game was hindered this past Saturday was because Seth McLaughlin was sat on the bench and Darian Dalcourt came in. Okay. Seth McLaughlin, when he was in the past 3 games, we averaged 5.93 yards per carry. Against Mississippi State, we averaged 1.1 yards per carry. Darian Dalcourt is not it. I've been saying it since the offseason, but for whatever reason, we continue to plug him in there. There's no continuity in that offensive line. There is no faith in that offensive line. There's no stability. As soon as Seth McLaughlin comes in, there's stability. Everybody around him plays better. Holes open up. Jahmyr Gibbs, the past 3 weeks, was averaging 175, 200 all-purpose yards a game. He was leading the nation. But as soon as we remove Seth McLaughlin from the equation and put Dalcourt in, completely shut down. So explain to me. Yeah, that's the center.
Yeah.
Explain to me how that makes sense. I mean, it's round peg, square hole.
I can tell you this, though. If I were a defensive coordinator, this is how I would stop all of Alabama's offense because it's so predictable. Because they don't have wide receivers to stretch the field. The wide receivers are not consistent. I would run a 5-2, and I would walk that safety down in the box. Get a man on the offensive line, have my 2 free linebackers available to flow as needed to stop that run with that safety coming down for support. My 2 corners in that safety can handle Alabama pass game because the biggest thing is not letting Bryce outside the box to scramble because that's where he makes all his pass plays at. That's all you got to do to stop him. It's so predictable. It's easy.
Okay, so listen, back to what Justin was saying. I get what you're saying, Marvin. It makes a lot of sense. I can agree with you on that. But what back to what Justin said, I think I can answer that. Number one, Seth, hopefully he's not hurt. And you do see a big difference when he's in there. However, how can the offensive line get any type of continuity as far as run blocking when you keep going away from the run? How can anybody get the reps of being somebody who's going to go down and pancake somebody? When time they get and they're ready to go walk over somebody, pancake them, you going passing. I'm gonna tell you who Alabama looked like Saturday to me. They looked like Mike Leach was coaching Alabama. What do they call it? Scott, what they call it? What's the name of that offense?
Air raid.
Something. What is it?
Air raid.
We was air raiding. Air raiding. That's all we was doing the whole game. Air raiding. And we have the runners to do it. Sir?
I thought Bryce Young's shoulder was sore, so you want to establish the run so you don't have to throw the ball as much. Don't
exactly.
Because we're gonna need him at the end of the year.
Tell you, man, if a team is smart, they'll come in, they'll run a 5-2 on Bama and leave them and walk that safety down in the box. So he's a versatile 2-way guy. He can play the run, he can play the pass. If it's run, he gonna support it. That way you've got those 5 defensive linemen, man on man, covering up those 5 offensive linemen. So it's a back versus 2 linebackers and a safety. You got a 3-on-1.
Hey, Bamar, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead.
Where the hell's number 7 been? Now he was
where a lot of them been.
He was playing his butt off. Now he was balling now, but dare you to throw it this way.
But technically, when you see guys like Eli Ricks that's supposed to be a hot shot coming in and then don't touch the field when everybody, expect him to do. Part of it is that he don't understand the Coach Saban playbook yet. Another problem could be that he having off the field issue. He can be late to classes. He not bought into the program, so he probably dug himself a hole into Coach Saban doghouse. And it's not hard to get out long as you going to class on time and making an A or a B on a quiz or a test, and you coming in and doing what you're supposed to do and gain Coach Saban trust back, and you at practice not making any mental errors. And now you got that mindset that you really want to play, that I got to get my stuff together. I transferred over here. Everybody watching me. What type of player I'm going to be? Is I'm going to be a player that buy into the program, or am I going to be a player that separate myself from the program and try to be a prima donna is what I call it. And that's part of it. And you can tell the way how he playing. Like he playing like he know what he doing. He confident. He trying to prove everybody wrong.
Bo, I think that loss to Tennessee bought him a ticket out the doghouse. Like, we got to play the best guys we got.
Marvin, I don't agree with nothing. Marvin, I don't agree with nothing you say ever, but this time I agree. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So far, he looked like the best corner we got. Because
here's the thing about it, though, Steve. Here's the thing about it, though,
listen, he was destroying them back shoulder throws. He was destroying them back throws. He was destroying them back shoulder passes. He was destroying them. He batted like 5 of them down.
Bo and Derrick, y'all know this. You got a good corner who came in. He might not know the plays. NFL, he's a free agent. He come in. This is his first week there. What they gonna do? They gonna play him man to the backside and let everybody else play what they gonna play, coverage to the field. Right or wrong?
Right.
Hey, man, please. So him not knowing the plays ain't no excuse. Hey, listen, you go over there,
but
you lock him down.
But you know how Coach Saban is about knowing what to do, when to do it, and how you supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, man. But damn, sometimes
he wasn't showing me nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. So listen, so you go over there, you lock him down.
I hate that comment that they made about 3 against when they were playing against Texas A&M. He came to Pete Golden saying that he wasn't really confident in himself, but since he done got that game out the way, he's much better. And then the following game, you get 3-4 penalty and you get torched.
Yeah. Again, Eli Ricks, you just lock this man down on this side of the field. You don't worry about nothing else. We're going to take care of everything else.
It wasn't just
one
man,
on with your life.
He locked down the entire side of the field.
He brought a little spark to the defense. They had a little fire. They were flying around. Number 2 got an old boys behind towards the end when they scored that touchdown.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. And
a couple of weeks ago, 2 touchdowns in instead of letting one player score 5 TDs on you.
I wasn't mad about that touchdown. I had Mississippi State at plus 28.
Oh my God!
I knew that eventually was going to come out.
But in all seriousness, though, I always say a defense is a reflection of its coordinator, its coaches, and clearly our defense lacks that passion, that desire, that fire. It's time for a change, man. And dear Coach Saban, I'm going to give you this message, and it's up to you what you do with it. There's a lot of great defensive coordinators in this country that you can go hire. But you want one that these kids can relate to, that's going to light a fire under their ass and know what the hell he's doing. Now, a lot of people might think this is an unconventional hire because they don't see the big picture. But Coach Saban, if you take my advice, I won't ever question the defensive play calling again. Okay? Go hire DeMeco Ryans as your defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Marv,
that's all you have to say.
He's from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Marv, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I when I was watching the game and the commentator said it, and you were the first person I thought of. Do you think that Tua can get everybody lined up without the defensive signal being called in?
No.
Because that's what they said. That's what they said up on the TV. They said that he don't even have to get the call, and he'll know he can get everyone lined up in the right position. And I said,
That's
I
a
heard
lot.
that, Bo.
and I
I
said,
heard
if
that.
he,
That's a lot.
yeah, and if he can get everybody lined up in the right position, we will have more interception than we have.
And not only that, I'm gonna tell you from a middle linebacker's perspective, if you can get everybody in the right position
But
lined
you know
up.
what?
Hold on, Steve. Hold on. If you can get everybody on the defense lined up in the right position based upon what their offense is doing, because you know what plays come out, what personnel groups, then you should know what a damn ball is going, and you should be making damn plays on it, because you can't know one without the other. If the offense is in flush, diamond, purple, queens, I know what's coming off each set. So again, based upon the strength, if I'm gonna set my defense, I know what offense is probably gonna go. That's why I made as many tackles as I made. So if you know all this and you can do this, then why is your play not equaling it? Because 1 from 2 + 2 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
But Marv, another thing, I thought you was gonna say this. And see, the reason I know you ain't say it, because you slow. Marv, how is it that you set the defense, but you're running to the wrong gap?
That part too. Listen, and if you watch, man, he stayed getting drove off the ball by a guard or a tackle. It's like, come on, man, did they not teach you how to hat in hand and get off the blocker? My God.
I'm gonna say this again for the people that don't think Steve Brown know about anything about football. Stick to the microphone. No, I can't. Listen, how can you set up a defense and call a play when you run to the wrong gap? I said I'm not going to dog players, I'm not, but I've seen this player go opposite of where the ball is going, and he runs right in the hole, and there's a hole on the backside. And me watching wonderful middle linebackers, if a running back runs into the hole, you meeting them there. Not only are you meeting them there, you driving them back in the hole. This linebacker is beating them there sometimes. But when he meet them there, they taking him 5-10 yards downfield.
Oh yeah, they taking him on the roller coaster ride.
I'm gonna tell you what he's good for. And me and a friend of mine, I ain't gonna say his name, but he's good for jumping on the damn pile after the guy's gotten down. He's good for that. And he was diving his ass from one hash mark to the next onto the pile.
I'll tell you the one thing that Jeff Rousey always preached to me. Coach Rousey is my middle linebacker coach. He said, no matter what you go out there and call, no matter what you think you see, you better be gap sound. You better be gap sound. Meaning it better not be any holes in that front seven when that play is being ran.
Oh, Marvin, this your linebacker coach. He said he ain't like you.
We're not gap sound often. We have seams and creases in our defense. That's what allows these offenses to move the ball up and down the field on us the way they do. You look at Mississippi State first 2 drives. They did what they wanted to do on us, minus they just couldn't punch it in once they got to the end zone. But they did what they wanted to do in between the 10s, okay? Because we're not gap sound up front. And as a middle linebacker, if you're setting this defense, you know what everybody should be. So you know the weak points, you know where you should be, you know what things are likely to bounce to based upon what's in front of you. You are supposed to know all this. This is what makes middle linebackers great, because you know what everybody's doing on that defense. You know if that safety's coming down the force, you know if you got help, because if he's coming down, that means get over the top of him. Again, you know what everybody on the field is doing. So clearly something's missing, because when you know what everybody's doing, you should be making damn near every tackle.
We can't put the blame on one. You know, the defense, it takes 11. It's a collective. I just don't see the defensive line playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
That too.
They're catching. You know what I'm saying? If they play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, they change the line of scrimmage, then he can flow and hopefully fill the holes a little better than he's filling them.
But he ain't filling them, no, Derrick.
A lot of people saying the game is changed. They can't hit tackle like they used to.
Derrick, can I ask you one question?
Mm-hmm.
You ever had a Twinkie and just squeeze it and seen that the cream filling just ooze out of it and fly backwards?
Well, don't do that. You just turn me on. Don't do that.
That's what he looked like when he run in the hole. When that Twinkie go.
Don't do that. You just
come on, man. Listen.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I'm toe away.
Not enough, clearly. You need to go put some bricks in his pocket.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, Marvin, I got another one for you. Since Pete Golding has been our defensive coordinator, as far as our defensive line, they haven't had the production of the defensive line that we've had in the years previous to Pete Golden. The defensive line's production has declined drastically since Pete Golding has been the defensive coordinator. Since he's been the defensive coordinator.
Hold on, I want you to add this to your stats, though. I'm giving you a piece. Do you remember last year on the show when I said we were 11th out of 14 teams in the SEC in sacks going into, I think, game 8, game 9? Mm-hmm. Missouri had more sacks than us. Kentucky we were 11th out of 14 teams in sacks.
Yeah. And then, but you know what, Derrick, and I want you to elaborate on this before I go. You got the best pass rusher in college football, right? Uh-huh. Why are you dropping him back in the pass coverage?
Yeah, I don't know. Why you got him over guards? Sometimes he'll line up over a guard. You put him at the end of the line of scrimmage and have him come off that edge like a man on fire.
Wide 9. Put him in a wide 9 and let him work.
It is. But like you said, the defense is a reflection of the coach. When Coach Kirby Smart was there and Coach, what was the other guy went to Tennessee?
Jeremy
Pruitt.
They were aggressive, get in your face type of coaches. You see Pete guy, he's kind of like lost in space. So you can see, you can see the reflection of the team out on the field because he's looking around like
Pete looking around like he's looking for the next keg party, man.
Hey, and I'm gonna say this, and I know it's not a bold prediction. It's going to happen. And Marvin, you can put the little money that you have on this game. Listen, I'm telling you right now, this is what you're going to see when I know I'm going farther ahead, but I have to. And it's going to show you the difference in defensive coordinators. When Tennessee plays Georgia, I'm telling you, Kirby Smart is going to attack the crap out of that. You're going to see that quarterback on the ground a lot. Watch what I tell you. And Tennessee is not going to score that many points.
Steve, who is Kirby's defensive coordinator? And did I not say Alabama should have hired him last year?
Yep, you did. And one thing, and think about it. This is how I know our defense was out there unprepared. Their quarterback did not get dirty at all. He did not touch the ground. He wasn't touched. He wasn't touched at all. So you letting this man stand up tall and throw and give him enough time to throw long balls. That says a lot about your defensive line. That says a lot about your coordinator. You're not attacking. Meanwhile, they attacked us the whole game. They were sending everybody, cheerleaders. They even sending the hound dog out there after us. Listen, everybody. Bryce Young stayed on his back. Like them big women had me in the back of the club. On his back. I'm on my back the whole time. But hey.
I hear what you're saying. Steve, I know you got to run. But
in all seriousness, though, man, until we get a change of the guard, man, with these coordinators, it's going to be some long weeks. And if people have not paid attention to what our next upcoming opponents have been doing lately, they have all been getting progressively better with the exception of Ole Miss, who fell victim to a LSU team that has proven that they're improving week after week after week, man. But this next stretch we have coming up, it's going to be crucial in how we finish the season in terms of will we get better or will we regress? Because, again, if you have anxiety already after you take a few lumps in the first quarter, you're not going to step up because you're nervous, you're shook, you're scared, you got your thong on, because you got anxiety. I'm sorry. You got the man up because, listen, man, I kid you not. Derrick can tell you this, Bo will tell you this. Going to Death Valley, bruh, this ain't the place to go with no anxiety. This ain't the place to go with no softness at all. You go down there to Death Valley with any thoughts, any doubt, anything in Death Valley, you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Marv, this is one thing I agree with everything you said, but you were wrong on. You said they got anxiety in the first quarter and the second quarter. That's a lie. They got anxiety coming out the locker room.
I'm just saying they better not have it at all because when you go to Death Valley, if your ass is shook, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. Because them boys don't play with you down there.
Go ahead, Justin, because I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I know you gotta get out of here. I want to introduce a segment
check
called
in with his PO.
Where you going, Steve?
Got to check in with his PO. You know he on parole.
No, I'm on OnlyFans and I got an appointment. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got a live. He has to, yeah. No, I want to introduce a new segment called Buy or Sell. Now, I've collected a couple of ideas based on what I've heard from analysts.
I'm selling, Pete. I'm selling
as well as fans. The first one, the reason why Bill O'Brien has struggled thus far is because he didn't have his guys healthy. Tyrell Harrell, JoJo Earl. Now that they're back healthy, we'll see a different Bill O'Brien. Buy or sell? I'll start with you, Steve.
I'm selling it. I don't believe it.
Marvin?
I don't believe it.
I'm selling because he was the the Houston Texans coach. That was terrible. And you can't say what he did in New England because he had Tom Brady. So I ain't letting nobody claim no credit for that. Look at what he did in Houston. Okay, let's look at the obvious here. I ain't buying it.
All right. Derrick, buy or sell?
I'm gonna sell it. You don't change a leopard can't change his stripes. He is.
You ever seen how he be looking over them glasses at that play sheet during the game? He look like he's struggling like hell. Like he don't even know what he damn looking at.
All right, Bo. You buying or selling that he's gonna have a dramatic turnaround now that he's got his boys back?
Don't be a company man, Bo. Come on, man.
I'm there.
All right.
Hey, Bo, while you selling, sell me that hoodie, man. I'm feeling that hoodie. Sell it to me.
Yeah, no question. Let's get that in the gift shop.
That's why he on parole, Bo. He was in Dollar General stealing tube socks, man.
Man, hey, forget you.
You want one though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just send me your address and your size.
It ain't gonna fit over your head.
I want to play. You're gonna have the Scarbrough on the back too, right?
Yeah.
That is.
I'm doing
I can put whatever you want on the back on there. I can put your last name on the back of that.
No, I need yours. I'm a fan.
Absolutely.
He gonna be like a fire hydrant.
I was in sales for about 18 years, right? When somebody says, sell me something, you sell them something. If they say, give me something, you give them something. That man said, sell me. You should have said, yeah, I'll put $50 in the mail and I'll buy it. Never give away product. You don't have to.
Oh, he gonna have to buy
it. That's understood now, Steve.
That is.
All right. Buy or sell? Mike Leach said that his team was afraid of the guys with the Alabama jerseys on. They were scared to do anything. That enforcer-led Bama team is back, and teams are afraid again. Buy or sell, Steve?
That's a bluff. Nobody's scared of Bama right now. And I think that Mike Leach, being the brilliant coach that he is, he said that to light a fire up under his team. That's what he did. So, and that's what it is, guys. I gotta run. Love y'all to death, man. But I'm selling that. Selling it all day.
You got a clean sample.
Bye, Steve. Love you, brother. All right, Marvin. Buy or sell, man. Is the fearful Alabama?
Buying that, man. Yeah. Listen, I ain't buying it. That Mississippi State team is just not as good as people make them out to be. That's the bottom line. They just aren't that good. And they played against the Alabama team that should have performed at a higher level than it did. But again, it's still Alabama, so I ain't buying it. No.
I'm buying the first part. Mississippi State was scared, but I don't think the teams coming behind them are scared. So I'm selling the second part of it. You know, we're not back to who we were. Until we get out there and start, making some heads roll and running that ball downhill and establishing the lines of scrimmage offensively and defensively, nobody's going to be scared of us.
Derrick, I want to ask you a question. At any point this season, have you heard the crowd when Alabama defense is on the field say, ooh? I have not seen one lick yet. Has anybody on Alabama defense even been called for potential targeting yet?
Yeah, I can't recall offhand. So that makes it. I don't even know half the defense. I don't know any of the defensive linemen's names. Listen, when you played, I knew all the guys because they made plays. It was like, damn, one after another.
If had nobody been accused of targeting, they ain't hitting. I'm sorry. You ain't hitting if ain't nobody been accused of targeting.
And that's on tackling, man.
Yeah, and that's what everybody says. Oh, the game is different now. I see Georgia, they be laying the wood. You know what I mean? So,
Kirby Smart.
exactly. So,
But I've seen a lot of teams form tackle and drop folks and hit them hard enough to where it looked like it might be targeted, and then they reviewed it and it's not targeted. But I'm just saying, we ain't getting that though.
we have too many reviews during our games, though. We have about 10 reviews. Can't get in the flow of the game. I know me as watching the game, I can't get in the flow of it. I imagine what the players, maybe
Right.
they.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
Bo,
but the reviews usually be on offense though. They don't be on defense.
right. Bo, what are your thoughts, man? Buy or sell? Is the feared Bama team back, or is that just a one-game stand or one-night stand?
The game wasn't even dominations to me. That ain't
Right.
domination. Domination. Y'all know when Dante Hightower and Ruben, when them boys come out that first play of the game, like Marvin said, ooh, that's what you hear. We don't, our fans don't even cheer no more.
We ain't heard no pads popping. We ain't heard, man, come on, pop, pop. What a pad popping at? We don't have no pad popping.
All I see is green mouthpieces and bat flaps.
Yeah, I wish somebody would bring the ball out the end zone on the kickoff when you guys played. Them boys were coming out there to take somebody's head off on special team.
Because they only had that one job.
We got a question for you, Derek, from the audience, from Steve Dean. Derek, could the bookends, Curry and Copeland, do a better job defensively against these teams Bama's playing right now?
Almost definitely. You would know their name. You'd hear their name called every week. You know, them boys were dogs. They got after it.
But they were competitive.
On Saturdays.
They were competitive.
Man.
See, that's the part people don't understand. They were competitive. When I played, I told Salim and Miguel and them off the rip, y'all tackles will be in the single digits. It will not be in the double digits. And if you do get them, it's going to be because you power dive whoever I'm tackling first. Man, please.
It was a competition between Curry and Copeland to see who can get to the quarterback first. Man, I'm going to get 5 today. Nah, I'm going to get 6 then. You know, those guys, you know, they came after. They came to play. We didn't care who we were playing. That defense showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a matter of if, it was when. And usually, as soon as the ball was snapped, those guys were in the backfield. It was over. All she wrote.
But you can be sitting on, you know how the offense sits on the down and rest while the defense is playing? Man, you're going to hear about 4 or 5. Bye-y'all. Damn, who hit him? Who hit him? You know what I'm saying? Them boys was coming.
But that's because y'all had enforcers in your linebacking core. You had enforcers on your D-line. I don't see no enforcers out there, brother.
They not nasty like Jay Reed and Ashawn Robinson.
Not like Ashawn.
And DJ Petway, Ryan Anderson, Tim Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Man, we were rotating 15 every game.
All right, last buy or sell. Eli Ricks balled out and reminded us why he's one of the best in the country at his position. He shut down his entire side of the field. Ricks is the missing piece to having an elite defense. Buy or sell. Marvin, you first.
I'm selling. I ain't selling on Ricks. Ricks is going to do what Ricks does. Great corner. The thing that's holding us back from being an elite defense is Pete. So I'm going to buy Ricks, but I'm selling Pete ass, all right? Ricks is going to ball. Again, I told you, I'd have put Ricks on the backside by himself to lock that down, don't worry about nothing else, and I'd have played what I needed to play to the field with everybody else. He is that type of corner. He makes the defense better. But the thing that we have that is detrimental to us is frat boy Pete. He ain't it. He ain't it.
Derek, what you got?
I'm buying the Ricks, but our defense ain't there yet. Until our defensive line, our front 7, which was supposed to be the strength of our defense, starts.
Derek, hold on, Derek. Hold on. Let me interrupt you, Derek. I want you to answer this for me, Derek. Did they not say that this would be the best defense under the Saban era? They returned 9 stars, and this defense is supposed to be damn all world. So, Derek, in your opinion, what the hell is happening here? Because clearly this ain't the best damn defense in the Saban era.
They was just wrong. They wrong.
That's plain and simple.
They were just wrong, man. Because that is far from his best defense ever.
I wouldn't even put it in his top 10 defenses. Hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Bo, it leaves you, man.
I'm scared to run against any defense now. But, you know, I knew if I ran against our defense back in 92, you know, I was going to be in the whirlpool for a couple of days. Well, I'd run through I'd have a field day with them cats. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody out there laying no wood. Ain't no pads popping.
kind of like Clemson. I was down there when Clemson won the national championship against you guys in Tampa. You could see they wanted no part of Bo. I'm telling, because they put me on the Clemson side for some reason. I was like, boy, they scared. They try to jump on his back. They don't want to hit that man. They scared. And when he went down, it changed the dynamics of the game. You know, he was setting the tone, the offensive line. You know, they were, boy.
But Derrick, we're not even playing backs nowhere near the caliber of Bo. We don't even know these running backs' name we playing, and we ain't doing that to him.
Well, in their defense, though,
amateurs at running back that are running through us like wet toilet tissue.
Yeah, well.
In their defense, though, I don't think they're being properly utilized, man. They're not being given the rock enough to see what they're able to do when they have a competent offensive coordinator who knows how to use them.
Man, I'm talking about the defense.
He's talking about defense, yeah.
Okay.
Our defense, these running backs that we are playing are not – what running back that we have played is going to be a first, second, third, fourth round draft pick? They are not those dudes. Hell, man, please. If I see these little weak running backs they playing, I'm taking your lunch, and your lunch. How in the hell? I'm confused.
They ain't saying that to their running back on the field. They ain't spooking the running back. They ain't making them scared.
Better hit him in their mouth and make him realize what time it is.
Yeah, man, Jay Reed and Ruben don't used to hit Lerner 1 or 2 times, man. He ain't want it no more. Yeah. You got 9 yards off his 13 carries.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you
something. 13 times and had 9 yards.
I remember Reuben Foster came down there and hit Leonard Fournette on the kickoff. He wasn't the same the rest of the game.
All right.
Where's
his team?
Exactly. And again, you look at when like even when I played, 1 week we playing Jamal Lewis and Travis Henry. Another week is Deuce McAllister. Then you got Cecil the Diesel Collins, all them boys at LSU. Bro, we played against real running backs. These little fruitcakes they playing. Come on, man. And you scared to put a hat on them? Man, I had a field day on these.
Well, I know Nick Saban's defense is complicated, but at some point you just got to simplify the offense and say, my guys are better than your guys. Just go get them. You know what I'm saying? Put them in a position and just outplay that man. You know your job. You beat your guy. Like Rich, just put him one-on-one. You cover him. You know what I'm saying? Defensive end or defensive tackle. Beat this man. Get to the quarterback. You know, linebackers, fill the hole. Stop the run. You know, do your job. Simplify it, man. Let them boys go out and play and not think so much.
But you know what that goes back to, Derrick? In 99, when we won the SEC championship, Ellis had this huge defensive playbook. But the plays we actually ran was about this much of it, because he knew he had Gerald Dixon at one corner, who was a freshman, Reggie Miles at another one, who was a sophomore, Salim at linebacker, who was a freshman, me at linebacker, a redshirt freshman, Kendall Moorhead on his defensive line, a sophomore, Kenny King, a freshman, Jared Johnson, a freshman. Man, the majority of our defense were freshmen and sophomores, but we kicked ass. Ellis gave us this much. He said, but y'all go execute it, and we went and kicked ass with it.
Yeah, perfect the little stuff, you know, the little playbook instead of perfecting the whole playbook.
Exactly. He knew what we were good at, and he made sure we learned it and that we could execute it at a high level, and that's what we went out and did.
Because the worst thing you can do is have an athlete out there thinking. You just want him to react. You know what I'm saying? He's going to play best when he's reacting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that definitely answers my main question. Are we satisfied with what we've seen thus far? So my next question is, what do y'all need to see happen in this bye week to make y'all feel confident enough going into LSU?
What I need to see ain't gonna happen because that U-Haul truck ain't at Pete House, so I ain't got nothing.
Well, I think a little bit of it started. I think taking accountability, like when number 2 jumped on number 2, I think it was 23.
23, Jack West Robinson.
You know, that showed me a little something. That showed me we got at least one dog on the field. He may not be a cover guy, but he does come up and hit. And you know what I'm saying? So if he can get the guys all on one page and be that leader and be that alpha male on the field, then maybe that defense can turn around. And now we need one on offense. I mean, Bryce is the leader, but Bryce, you know, he's a finesse player. We need somebody like Bo running downhill, just nasty, just give me the rock, or offensive lineman like old boy who plays with the Eagles now, Landon
Dickerson. We had that in Seth McLaughlin, but like I said,
we have no offensive lineman that's like, run behind me, coach. Come get. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you.
Like Cam Robinson used to say, when in doubt, run behind me.
That's it.
I scored 11 times out Cam Robinson's side.
Okay, well, in this off week, Bo, what are you saying to these offensive coaches, the coordinators, about establishing the run? Because clearly we got some dudes back there. Jahmyr Gibbs, without question. I think Jace McClellan is a lot better than what we've seen so far. So what do you want to say to these running back coaches, Bill O'Brien? Because we're going to LSU, man. We got to be balanced.
I wouldn't even just say it's directly to the coach. My main thing is finding an identity of this team. Like this team is out of whack and no one is together. Like it just seems like everybody just individual. It's an individual, like we playing golf or something. It's ain't nobody that came together and be one like we always been. But technically, I know what's finna happen. We about to go into camp practice. When we go into camp practice, I think they're going to get some of their mind right because of how Coach Saban does the bye week with the camp practice. But we have to get that identity back, and we have to have these boys scared of us. We have to be more physical than we have been these past 5 to 6 games. Like, we haven't been physical at all, not once. We haven't drove no one back 5 yards. We haven't ran the ball downhill and ran nobody over and celebrated for a first down. We haven't done none of that. I haven't seen nobody slap nobody upside the head for making a mental error. I haven't seen nobody pull no one to the side and talk to him, on a mistake that he made. So my whole thing for this bye week is to start over.
That's perfect. I couldn't put it any better. And one of the things you mentioned, they're playing as individuals. Get everybody off of social media. Get them off of Instagram. Put everybody in this witness relocation program. Everything goes silent and get focused back on football. Stay away from promoting yourself. I'm tired of after a game is over, they're immediately on Instagram within 5 minutes posting pictures and putting little catchphrases to draw attention and likes. So we got to cut all that out.
Yeah, they going straight to their locker room, grabbing their phone before they even take their pads and pants out, trying to see what someone said about them before Coach Saban can even give his speech.
Man, after the game was over, I used to go to the locker room and get my phone too. That was the first thing I pick up, trying to see what 100's at, which one is three.
Marvin, you had a bag phone, man.
You didn't have a cell phone, Mar. You had a beeper.
Now we had a cell phone, man. Derrick had pages when he was at Alabama. We had cell phones, sir. Okay.
Derrick had notes by the payphone.
Oh, you had Mar. You had to flip then pull the antenna.
Yeah. Hey, again, that was the first stop. Like, which one of my honeys didn't text me? Who looking for me tonight, baby?
Then he's checking his inbox on Backpage.
I'm after the game and have a whole thing of Charmin in my hand. Said, man, defense, you played like Charmin again.
But in all seriousness, though, man, this week they're gonna have to lock in, and they're gonna have to figure out what it's gonna take for them to gel as a team on both sides of the ball. Because here's the thing: the team that they're getting ready to face next week has gotten better every week. They have bought into Chip Kelly's system, and they had the athletes the whole time. That was never the question. They was just, a lot of times when you got great teams, they ain't wrapped too tight because everybody they know you can't win with nice guys. So when you got all those different personalities with all that violence and everything else, it's hard to get them to jail. But it looks like Chip Kelly has gotten them to jail. And if that is truly the case, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. So Alabama's going to have to do the same thing, man. They're going to have to figure out, how do we put it together? And again, defensively, we have to be gap sound, because if we're not gap sound, we're going to struggle. And again, when teams run the ball on us, they set the pass up on us. If it's not, that safety has to come down in the box. It's like we shoot our own selves in the foot, man. So at some point, we just got to clean up the game overall on both sides of the ball, man, because it's not going to get any easier from here. This is that stretch of that schedule where you find out what you're really made of.
Yeah, these back-to-back away game stretches, man.
Some of them boys that haven't been in Death Valley,
but they gonna learn.
They about to learn real quick.
They might
That locker room in that Tigers right there.
Right. They may have them a snack before they get in the locker room. Popcorn.
Hey, Derek, we got a question. We got a question for you from the audience from Homegrown Cowboy. How can I get Derek's autograph? Do you have a way that fans, if hey, they still think
I
you're
sign
the
it for you, man.
Send it to Justin. Justin will get it to me. We'll get it back to you.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's about that time. Before I go, I want to pass it around the room, let y'all pop what y'all got going. Marvin, I'll start with you. What's going on with 40 Plus Strong? And I have to ask because I've been hounded all week about the T-shirts.
We are not selling Fire Pete T-shirts, okay?
Even at a higher price they're willing to pay?
I just wear the Fire Pete shirt to make a statement, okay?
Because is that part of the company we have together, Marvin?
Nah,
I'm still a partner now.
Yeah, but I don't sell the Fire Pete's, okay? I just wear them occasionally to make a point that Pete needs to be damn fired, okay?
We in America, capitalism, capitalize on that.
Nah, Pete needs to be fired, man, for real. So, woo.
Green Bean thinks that you should be Alabama's strength and conditioning coach, Marvin.
The way my knees set up, nah, I'm good. But no, man, no, but in all seriousness, though, man, they have so much talent, so much potential. You just got to figure out how to harness that potential. It's like when NASA says they go out to space and they see all these stars, all this plasma, everything else. How can we harness that power to bring it back to Earth, to revolutionize how energy is used on this Earth, and it would improve our renewable energy and cut down on the other forms of energy that are depleting the planet, that are causing greenhouse gases. That same approach that NASA takes to that is what they need to take to how they harness their talents and their power on the field, man. You got to visualize and see things in ways you've never seen it before, man. Because if you just think inside the box and you stay conventional, you'll never unlock that next level of your potential. Because again, you're continuing to do the things you've always done. It's not until you unlock your brain to realize, hey, no matter what I've ever thought, let me just see what can happen, that you truly unlock your real potential. And as an athlete, man, you got to find that space, because if you don't, you'll only be mediocre. And that's what we are, mediocre.
Powerful. Bo, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Pop what you got going. Cameo, if people aren't familiar with it. And then also, too, your website. Let them know how they can reach you on both.
Oh, yeah, I'm on Cameo. Only thing you have to do is just you can download the app, or you can make a request through Cameo for a happy birthday video, anniversaries, whatever the case may be that you want a video for whoever. And I'm working on my website is up, everything is up and running. We just in the process of getting these hoodies and sweats and leggings and everything. And we're trying to get the best material so that you can wear it more than 5 or 6 times, and something that you can wash and won't fade and still stay the same.
Doug Layton is a smart man.
Hey, one of the best to ever do it, no doubt. Derek, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Fans still want to follow you. They want to know what's going on with you. If you would, pop yourself. But also, I noticed on Facebook today you had a special request for the Alabama community and Bama Sci-Fi community. If you would, man, go ahead and let us know what's going on.
I'm going to send you a Fire Pete shirt, Derek, and you can wear it so you can end up on all the news media like I did, and you can deal with all the fallout from wearing it. So I got you covered. You want some Fire Pete's? You put it on your social media, and you see how that goes.
Well, yeah, I'm low key nowadays. I'm a family man. I got a little son that I'm trying to raise to be a man, trying to be a good example of what a father and a leader is supposed to be. I have what I posted on Facebook. We had a teammate. His name was Napoleon Folks, and he's had a kidney transplant. So he's going back and forth from Tuscaloosa to Nashville. So he has to be in Nashville for 3 months because he's had the transplant. So he has to be up there, and so they can monitor, make sure everything's okay. And he had a little GoFundMe. So I told all the Bama Sci-Fi guys, well, I posted, hey, we say we Bama Sci-Fi. One of our Sci-Fi brothers needs help. Let's help him. Do whatever you can. I don't care if it's a phone call. I don't care if post something on your Facebook, but do something to show him that you're thinking about him. And, because when we played, Bama Sci-Fi meant something. It wasn't just lip service.
Right.
So let's do what we can do to help our brother out. Anything counts. You know what I'm saying? So, and he has it posted where you can send the money to the GoFundMe. Just look up Napoleon Folks.
I know Napoleon. I didn't know that happened to him. I used to work with Napoleon when I first finished playing football at the Tuscaloosa County Jail.
Now you know.
Yeah, I did not know.
So keep him in your prayers. So
Okay.
Absolutely. And I tell you what we'll do, Derrick, over the next few weeks on our show, our friends like to give to us via Super Chat. And what I like to do, I've already talked to the guys at TDA, anybody who donates to this show, I like to pledge that to his cause. So
awesome.
Anything we get from you fans, guys, just know it's going to go directly to helping this man out. Because like Derrick said, we're family and we need to show that we mean it. So that's what we are going to pledge to you from the Bama Standard.
Man, we should have opened the show with that.
I did. I should have. But listen, I'm going to make sure that point gets across from here on out. But great show, guys. Looking forward to the off week and having no anxiety. Derrick, thank you so much for being on, man. It's a pleasure as always.
Thanks,
and if you do not have your emotional support animal, I encourage you to do that during the bye week because obviously we all need one. That'll do it here from us at the Bama Standard. Roll Tide, guys.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yes,